Unscripted, unshackled, uncouth.
What you're about to hear is for more mature audiences only.
It's Miguel and Holly, Uncensored.
Oh, hello. We are live right now on the Miguel and Holly Facebook page, on the Miguel and Holly YouTube channel, all the places.
Hi.
Kelvin's here.
Barely.
I can't wait
Kelvin's
to talk
hanging
about
on. Kelvin's hanging on.
that. Holly's
Bread.
barely hanging on too.
Yes. I'm present.
Yeah. We're basically...
Miguel,
Yeah.
I don't know how you even just deal with my shenanigans.
Somebody was asking me about that. They were like, how do you
deal with Holly shenanigans?
No, they were like, how do y'all juggle? You know, like if you listen to the podcast, you hear that obviously you got a lot going on in your personal life, Holly.
Yeah.
And it's like, how do you balance, being coworkers, talking about it, but then also friends when you have all this stuff? And it's like, I kind of like between, 5:30 when you get to the studio and between like after the show, I kind of just have to like full steam ahead. And it's just, you just got to like zoom. And then afterwards, it's like, what's going on?
Yeah. And it's expected.
Right.
I mean, I need that. Ran into somebody in the bathroom here, and she literally did want to know like how everything was. Weirdly, like we worked with her in a past life. Like we worked with her back like 10 years ago in a different radio building in Tampa than even the other one prior. Anyway, so I knew she did want to know how things were going, and I gave her just like tried to do like the Reader's Digest, like Cliff's Notes version of the story about what's going on with my life today. And she's like, God, work's probably the escape, isn't it? I'm like, oh, yes, it is.
Right.
It is, because I know what's expected of me. There is new stuff every day, but there's a pattern. Like
Formula.
So that sense of knowing what's coming next is very comforting.
Yeah.
So anyway.
No, absolutely. And that's what a lot of people who do radio say that about it. A quick shout out to the fan members that are watching on Facebook, Stephanie, Laura Top Life, Zinda, and then on YouTube we got Doe Eyes checking in over there.
Don't forget Amy Gordon.
So sorry, Amy. And I totally forgot last week, but we were in such a rush to get off and there was a million things going on that Amy, I had a remote or broadcast at this restaurant in Tampa last year, somewhere up north Pinellas, and Amy came by and she gave me this like special branded oven mitts almost. It was really cool. It had the Miguel and Holly logo on it and everything. And she shouted that out in the comments last time, and we were just going so fast by the end of it, I forgot. But I want to say I do remember that, Amy. Thank you. Kelly and Julian is checking in as well. So for those of you that are new, that maybe missed it, new to the show, our new executive producer, Kelvin.
Hey!
And so, Kelvin, you've got one more week that you're doing the show and helping out in Miami as you are getting ready to make the move to Charlotte. But you had celebrations this past weekend?
I had a bunch of celebrations this past weekend. I hosted a little going away at our apartment, just full of boxes everywhere and chips. And I was like, I'm not buying anything. Like, I'm usually buying all the food and getting all the drinks. And I was like, no, we need to get rid of all this stuff. Had my new mattress delivered, so we had to take our bed out. Slept on the couch. Oscar slept on an inflatable mattress. We also gave away alcohol as well. We went to the movers. I was like, do you want this bottle of tequila? Like, I do not want it.
Why didn't you just bring it?
No, girl. Absolutely not. I am
Can't carry an extra 24 to 48 ounces of liquid. Come on now.
No, it wasn't even that. It's that we got them from Sam's Club. So they're like the Mega 64. And I was like, I don't need this.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Take it.
That's a lot.
They were ecstatic. They loved it.
I know that was when we moved. There were a couple items. I forgot how it went down, but when we were leaving our like temporary Largo house that we were in when we thought we were moving into the new house, but then we moved here instead. There were a couple things that one of the movers was like, do you I mean, I know y'all haven't like this. And I was like, girl, you want it? just take it. And I remember what it was, but it was something that I was just like, anything that I don't have to think about at this point, I was just ready to give it up because because the movers came a week before we thought they were going to come. And so I wasn't working. We were done with the show in Tampa, but Abe was finishing up his part of his painting business. So he couldn't help pack. So it was just me all of a sudden being like, oh shit, I got a week to do it all myself. So by the time the movers came, I was like, girl, you want the couch? Like, I don't care. Just take anything that I don't have to think about. I remember like when we got to Charlotte, we were unpacking everything and Abe was like, why is there a knife with a pillow from the couch? I was like, bitch, what?
Don't ask questions.
What?
Don't ask questions. Why ask questions? It's here, isn't it?
I think there was like one box where I like went off and I was like, what? And he was like, you know what? Thank you. And I was like,
thank you for your service.
Say something. Oh my God. So did you have just like one big party, Kelvin?
Yeah, we had it was like a mini party. It was much more intimate. Like we had a few friends over and I just had Drag Race on the TV screens. And then all of a sudden people were like, wait, like turn it up. Like I want to hear the song that they're lip syncing right now. So we were all watching Drag Race, drinking. And then after a while, one of my roommate's coworkers came after they had closed their store and they came over and one of his boss actually came and he's from the UK and he's like, I've only been in Florida for 8 days. Like, why don't we? Well, that's definitely not the accent he had, but
I was like, is that a
so he had full-fledged.
Absolutely.
Every time I quote people, I don't know why I immediately go to country, but
well,
yes.
Miguel always does Jamaican, so this is good news.
Wait, was that you like trying to do a British accent?
No. I just I don't know, muscle memory. That's just what I always do every time.
All accents are Southern. It's okay.
So then he was like, yeah, I've only been in Florida for 8 days. And I was like, let's go to Hunter's in Wilton Manors. Let's have a great night.
Ooh.
And it was like 1 a.m. already at this point. And I was like, should we go out?
No.
And my fiance Oscar was like, I'm staying behind. You guys go have fun. And I was like, fuck it. Why not? Like, when am I going to party up till the sun rises?
Right.
Which wasn't the intention, ended up happening. And then the next day we were supposed to help my roommate move out. So yesterday was rough.
Ooh, that was Saturday night into Sunday that you had stayed out?
Yes. Got home at 6:30. Woke up at like maybe 11. And then it was hangover city.
Oh my gosh.
Starting to help him pack and move things. And it was just rough.
Wait, so hold on. Let's back up to Hunter's because I've been there in Wilton Manors. It's a big old gay club. And every time we have been there, it is just a mess, like just a big old mess.
Yes.
So like what happened that night? How many people were with you all?
So it was my cousin who was driving. Thankfully, she was the DD. And then it was my roommate, his coworker, Gabby, and his boss who had just been there for a few days. And I don't know, like we had a few drinks in and I was like, is this guy even gay? Well, like we didn't know, like he just didn't know. But he was so excited. He was for it. He was like, sure, let's go. It's going to be fun. A Britney song was playing and I go
and a Britney song was on.
Yes.
And a Britney song was on. Did you
throw
your hands up?
I was like, do you even know the words to this? Because he wasn't really dancing. And he's like, honestly, I know every single one. And I was like, okay, girl. So we had a really fun time. He was dancing. We bar hopped. And then he started getting more and more loose. And then after a while, we find out he's bi. We're like, okay, all right, cool. Now you're enjoying yourself.
You're like,
having fun.
Oh,
yeah.
How you doing? Hey. So the bars there, do they close at 4 or when do they close?
So the ones that we went to, Alibi and Hunters, they close at 3, I believe. 2 or 3.
Okay. Well, what did you do betwixt the hours of 3 and 6?
We went to another club. But
were they? They weren't open. How are they open?
One of them across the street was open.
Oh,
it's called Manor.
Until
I guess that's like the main one. I can't remember how long I was there for, but we had left, and all I remember is the checkers that I was eating, and I was enjoying it.
I love it.
I don't know what time that was.
God bless. I feel like I feel like our lives are very different. And I love that diversity for us. But There was a time in college when like one of my friends and I were like, we are going to stay out until 6 in the morning. Like, and we purposely, there was nothing to do in Ada. I went to a tiny ass university. So like we forced ourselves to stay up. And then after that, we were like, never again. Not worth it. Not worth it. And I don't believe we ever did because my body can't. So I'm just really impressed that you even are here today.
I didn't think I could still do it, but she did it.
She
Woo.
survived.
Perceived.
She is a survivor.
Yes.
Nevertheless, she persisted.
She did. Now, so was the club across the street open till like 6 or 4 or whenever?
I'm not sure. I mean, we definitely left and it was still packed. And if I'm timing it out right, we had to have left at like 5.
Oh,
5. Yeah. So they were still going.
that is
Harnesses
insane.
and
hey,
all of it.
Good Lord.
like I
My,
remember.
my liver hurts a little bit thinking about that.
We stayed on the second floor too because it was a very packed club. I can show you the video. I never posted it because I was just, I was a few drinks in as well. But it was a packed club. And then we went to the second floor and luckily nobody was there. There was a bar there. And we were able to just still enjoy it and have fun without being in the huge shirtless crowds.
Yeah,
men.
because that monkeypox is.
I was about to say, I didn't want to bring it
Raging.
up, but also like watch out for that monkeypox.
Yeah, no. We went at 1 to Hunters and it wasn't that packed.
right.
People already started leaving. So it was fine. We had space there.
Yeah, that's good.
And then in Manor, there was a second floor. So we were good.
Oh, good.
Oh my gosh. Yeah,
Keep that monkeypox. What
them
are we
energies.
living in?
girl, I'm just staying in. I ain't doing shit from now on. Fuck.
Clearly, that's what I'm doing, obviously.
I had a friend in town who was interviewing for a job here in Charlotte who's from Tampa.
Mhm.
So he was here this weekend. He stayed with us Friday night. So Friday we went to dinner at a church in Union in Charlotte and had delicious dinner. Then we went back to our place, had some drinks there. Some of our friends from here came over, and then we went to the gay bar here. And like that's when I feel like the wheels fell off because the drinks are just so strong.
Oh no.
And everyone's just like having fun, meeting new people. And then by the time you know it, we're like, well, shit, we are in it. We are drunk. And
Drunk.
and so then my friend who's here visiting, interviewing for a job, he was like, well, I know someone who has connected me with a person who works at this place I'm interviewing at, and they're having like an after party. We should Uber to their house. And I was like, who are these people? Have you talked to them? And how far away is this house?
Yeah.
And it was like a good 10, 15 minutes away from where we were. And at first I was going to like put my foot down because remind you, this is Friday night. So I have been up since 3:15.
Friday nights are tough. Friday nights are tough to do.
Oh no, man.
things.
Right? And so
Yeah.
I was like, but you know what? We are new here. We're trying to get to know people. Fuck it. Let's do it. So we got an Uber. We went to these people's house and it was like so Garth Brooks played here in Charlotte Friday and Saturday.
And
night.
Saturday, yeah.
And so they had gone to the Garth Brooks show. So it was a gay couple whose house it was, and then the straight couple they were with, and then there were 2 straight couples. So they were clearly liquored up and had a good ass time. So then here we come like busting up into their house. And remember, my friend that was with us has not met these people before because these are just people that are one of the people works at the place he was interviewing at. So it's all just like introductions everywhere. Like, hey, how's it going? How's it going? How's it going? And so
Is it just random people?
yeah, girl.
There's a lot of social energy
I mean, literally.
depleting right now.
I am so
Just by the
stressed
story.
out.
Oh my God.
Who the fuck even knows who these people are?
Right. I mean, my friend, he was like, well, we enjoy it. So anyway, we're there talking and hanging out and chit chatting. And then like, I guess I start getting into that, like, I'm tired. I'm drunk. I want to go home a little bit. And so then I'm like feeling self-conscious and I'm like, we in these people's house. It is 2:00 in the morning. Do they want us here? And so then thankfully one of the guys whose house it was, he's like, he came up to me and he was like, I like your energy. I don't like talking to new people normally, but I like your energy. So let's chit chat. So we were talking about the Garth Brooks show. And I kept saying like, are you sure? He was like, no, he was like, let me look you dead in your eyeballs. If I did not want y'all in my house, you all would not be here right now. And I was like, okay, good, because I do
What
not
would he do to
want
remove you? He'd be like, hey,
Comforting.
can
Right.
y'all leave? Like, how do you?
He'd be like, okay, night's over, goodbye. But
I
they
guess
were
that's
like
true.
pulling out bottles of rosé and some wine, and we are just sitting there talking. And then this one girl was like, mentioned that we just got married, and she was like looking through my phone, looking at our pictures and stuff from the wedding. We were talking about that. So it turned out being a really, really good time. And we met some new friends. And they were
good.
actually really cool. And we hung out with them actually Saturday during the day. So it turned out being like really cool. So it's like, I'm trying to say yes to those sort of situations that normally now I'd be more rigid. And I'd be like, girl, we ain't going to these people's house. Like, you ain't met them. How do you know they actually want you at their house, or they're just not trying to be nice?
Right.
But we did it and everything was great. And we met some new friends through it. But I was like, all right, we can only do like one night of that. Like that's
Yeah.
Never again.
no, like that was too much. That was too much.
That seems like a lot of energy, exactly like Kelvin said, was expended.
That's why like Saturday we then got up and went to brunch and then met some other friends that were here visiting. And I was just like, I literally woke up, I sat outside in the balcony and had my little like water energy that I drink and my little vitamins. And I just sat there listening to the morning NPR news. And I'm like, I just need to be on the balcony and let the sun hit me and just like get my life energy back for another day of like being around people and stuff again. But it ended up being a good time.
Oh man, that scares me a lot, but I'm glad for you.
Yes, good girl. Advent Danger is my middle name. Holly, how was your weekend?
It was fine. It was fine. It was fine because we didn't have any kids. It was a quiet weekend, and we had planned like what we're doing now. Anytime we don't have a kid, we like no kid weekend. We are trying to take care of some other project around the house. Like I feel like the lamest lame after y'all stories.
No.
But we wanted to clean out the closet this weekend, and we did it.
Yeah. Did y'all like, wait, hold on. You cleaned out your closet, but did y'all, while you're in the closet, a little, hey, we in the closet, girl. Yes.
No. But we did do that, just not in the closet.
Oh, hey, but
Oh,
you did
okay.
it.
Way back.
We had a good weekend. It was just a little
Actually, it was
different.
a real good weekend. It was pretty good. I was like,
it was
hey, it was real. I don't know what's gotten into him lately, but it's been real good.
Yes,
So I'm not
honey.
complaining. I don't know. You got a mood switch or we got something else going on. Well, it's real good. So I'm like,
Yes,
I'm
honey.
prepared because it had been a bit of a dry spell for a minute. And then after a while, like you just kind of be like, what's going on? Are we gonna, and then like, I don't know. Something happened. And then now it's doing real good.
I feel
we're good.
like that's like relationships. Is it just such ebbs and flows of it?
I was about to say the ebb and the flow.
Yes.
And also, like, there's a lot going on in life. Like, I have a lot of personal stuff going on between my family, my mom, and some other stuff that I don't necessarily talk about on the podcast, but he also had some stuff going on. So when some of this stuff, like either, comes out one way or another, some of the heavy things that we're dealing with, I think that influences a lot of stuff too. Cause then you're like, oh, I feel better about this particular aspect of life. Hey, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, absolutely. Well,
So
I mean,
it's been good.
Well, and I think we have to remind ourselves when we've had topics or call-in topics about, like how often should you be doing it when you're in a relationship or you're married or whatever. And when you think about when you're single, you're not doing it like every fucking day. It's like,
oh God, no.
a Friday or Saturday night, if that's your schedule or whenever you have the time and you're like, all right, hey, let's go to the club or let's get on one of the apps or get it done, then get it. But it's not like just because you're together with someone doesn't mean that you have to do it all the time.
And
This
it's
is new to
not
me.
No, because it's not sustainable all the time. No.
I definitely don't believe in doing it every single day, but I'm very much once a week, would be great. More if that's possible. But I'm just
Oh.
also figuring out now. I'm not saying it happens.
I was like,
but
girl,
yeah.
that's
But what I'm figuring out now is that, there is an ebb and flow, and there is some life does happen, and it does influence that schedule or routine or whatever you want to call it. Because I used to make fun of people who are like, oh my God, you have to like plan it in advance. Like, that's kind of weird.
I know, me too.
But now
Same. I would be
thinking about it,
like,
like-
who does that?
But now thinking about it, like, like kind of makes sense. If you have a busy schedule, you got something to look forward to, you can plan some stuff now. But before, it took me a while to understand this whole concept. Like, I was like, what? Like, we're living together. Like, do it right now.
Right. Everybody's just gonna do it all the time. No.
I mean, most of the time, and especially for me, because I'm so like, I need to have been showered. I need to feel fresh. And then, like, God forbid, if like I'm just, in one of my moods about my weight and I'm not feeling super attractive at the moment. And then I'm just like, so I mean, I sometimes do feel really bad. Like, I feel so bad for my husband that like it's almost like a little tiptoe dance he has to do to be like, is it? Is it
time? Is it time? And you're like,
I know. And I'm like, and then like literally the other day was when he got home from being out of town, and because usually like during the week, like it's a no-go for me. Like usually during the week, no.
That's what I say too. I'm always like, or like I'll be like, maybe, and he'd be like, I know what maybe means on a weeknight.
Yeah.
It means no.
No.
Maybe means
not.
no. Because I'm like, I gotta go to bed early. How much time you think I have between putting the kid to bed and then finishing my stuff, and then I gotta come entertain you?
Right.
Out of here.
And so normally it's a no-go, but then like he got home last week from being out of town, and we like went to bed early, and he was like, well, I'm gonna go to bed. And he rolled over, went to bed, and I was watching some true crime documentary, and I was like really into. And then like all of a sudden he like gets up and then starts kissing me, and I was like, okay, hey. And then like there's a difference between like a goodnight kiss and like a something else is happening kiss. And I was like,
right, thank you.
And I was like, oh girl, it's Wednesday. What are you doing?
Get back to sleep.
I'm sorry. Look at the schedule.
Girl.
Let me just. Yes, there's a different kind of kiss. I'm sorry, I got a story about that.
And then like there is this true crime doc, which is really good on Netflix. I can't remember what it's called, but like some of it had to do with Tampa, and so like it was in like the Tampa part, like in the 80s and 90s, and I was just like, oh, I know where or what is it, Mon Venus is, girl. She was a stripper there, and then he's like, oh, and I was like, oh God.
You're like, I'm trying to watch this about a stripper.
I was like, wait, I need to pause this first so I can catch back up when we're done.
Like, why am I like you in that way? Because sometimes it's different. Like, it's vice versa. Sometimes you and my person are the same, and sometimes you and me are the same. So, like, that's me where I'm like, can someone be responsible? Like, who's gonna know where to rewind this documentary to? Like, take 2 fucking seconds and pause.
So, like, literally, we're like making out, and I'm like feeling around the bed for the remote, trying to pause.
That's not the remote.
But you can push those buttons.
Hey! But I'm sorry. Like, I'm at this point in my life, I can't have something on TV going while
not
we're
if it's
doing
good.
it.
If you want to watch it, like if it's like, I don't know, like some nonsense that doesn't matter, like whatever. But if I'm watching something, no,
I can't have it. Like, we can maybe have music on, but I can't do, like, nothing can be on the TV because I just automatically start listening to what's happening, and then I'm out of the situation. So I'm like, I'd rather it's no sounds or it's music, but I can't, especially not this really good True Doc. Like,
you're like, I'm trying to do stuff. Wait, I want to tell a quick story about the way the kiss is different because that happened this morning at 3 something 40, I think 3:30 a.m.
40.
Girl, I had a morning. Let me just tell you something. Oh,
She
first of all, I
mounted up.
apologize in advance.
Right.
Well, I apologize for being here. We are again. My mom and her crazy, like, it's not even her fault. And I fully realize that. And I have to use like laughter to deflect. So it's not funny, but like sometimes, like I said, you got to use the humor in situations where you can.
Mhm.
She wasn't doing well apparently last night. And so the place where she is staying, the assisted living / memory care / skilled nursing facility that she's currently at and only has like a week and a half left at this place before she transfers to the final place. They call me at 3 a.m. I hear the phone, and you know how when the phone rings in the middle of the night, you're like,
Ugh.
I look and I'm like, oh God. I'm like, hello. Turns out, long story short, she needs to go to the hospital.
Mm.
And I'm like, oh, God, are you sure? And they're like, yeah, because this. I'm like, okay. So then at that point, I'm up, right? Like, I'm like, so I'm thinking, because my mom is being currently sent to the hospital as we speak. Quick sidebar. Yesterday, Nala, my dog, wasn't doing so good. Like I don't know what happened. She ate her breakfast. She was kind of like meh around the house yesterday. Then she didn't eat dinner. I mean, wouldn't touch it. I tried to hand feed her. Bitch said, I was like, she's sick. I'm like, something's going on. I don't know what it is. And she kept like doing that heaving thing, like where they're gonna throw up and you're like, throw up on this paper towel or something. But she didn't throw up yesterday. So I was like, we knew, the two of us, me and my person, were like, she's probably gonna throw up in the middle of the night somewhere. God, let it be in someplace good, not like on the carpet. So at 3, when they called that my mom is being sent to the hospital, he's like, let me go take Nala out. And I'm like, okay. And he goes, oh, I found the puke. Here, it was in the hallway, like right outside of our door, like it's a present or something. And so I'm like, oh no, what is that? What is that? And I'm trying to see if she ate something bad. I'm like, I don't know. And I'm like, did she poop anywhere? And he's like, I don't think so. Oh no. Oh
no.
I'm like, well, just tell me. Luckily, it was in like the front entryway where we keep some pee pads anyway, because you can't hold it through the night anymore.
Mm-hmm.
But it was on the pads and it was all around. Luckily, it was on the hardwood floor. Like, it's on the floor. And it wasn't good. It's like, something's wrong with her. I've already called the vet today. I don't know. She's not doing well. So I'm like, oh my God, my mom is in the hospital and I got to clean up diarrhea.
When it rains, it pours.
So I'm out here with a bucket.
Rains pee.
I'm like scrubbing the floor. Anyway, after all that is done, it was approximately, like, when does my alarm go off? My alarm goes off at 4:15. At that point, it was a little bit before 4 o'clock. So it's probably like 3:45, 3:50. And I'm like, I don't want to be up and like just start getting ready right now. I want to like just calm my shit down for a second.
Right.
So we get back into bed for like the 15, 20 minutes before it's time for me to get up. And then he's like, you know, we're going to get through this like we do. We're going to just do one day at a time. And I'm like, I know, you're right. And we have the plan for the day. Then he cuddles up and then he's like, I'm just so in love with you. And I was like, that's so nice. Thank you. And I'm just like feeling all my feelings about what's going on with my mom, with the dog. And now he's saying these like nice things. But then he started kissing my ear. And I was like, pretended I didn't know. Like, I pretend like I don't know what's happening. I'm just like laying there, and then he like doing a little of this, and I was like,
the poke.
Yeah.
but y'all, then I got pissed off because I was like, my mom is in the hospital. I just cleaned up a bunch of shit. I'm not in the mood. So I was trying not to be rude though, because it was very nice. But I was like, hey, we're not gonna be doing this right now. He's like, all right, I know. I'm like, do you?
Do
so
you
then he
know?
keeps kissing, and I was like, we're not doing it. And he's like, I'm sorry, I was just trying to love on you. And I'm like, whatever, just keep doing your loving, but we're not doing loving. Just so we're all clear.
No.
Once someone cleans up poop, one is not necessarily in the mood.
No.
Just so we're all clear.
No.
So that was my morning.
Now, do you have to do a make good tonight to like finish up what was started this morning?
I wouldn't mind, because like I said, it's been real good lately, but I had to get that out. Like, I was just huffy about it. I had to get the huffiness out. So then maybe even though it's a weeknight. Oh, and I'm coming to Charlotte this week.
Yeah, that's right.
So I'm not going to see him for a while. So it's probably going to have to be tonight.
Right. See,
All right.
listen, maybe
Update tomorrow.
Okay.
Get it in.
Hey. We about to go down.
Oh my! Oh boy!
Okay. Sorry.
The mouth shape.
Oh, all right. So while
Mhm.
Holly's in Tampa, Kelvin's in Miami, I have some Ryan Seacrest studio interns coming in I have to talk to here.
Oh dang! Okay. Wait, with us? Or are you trying to kick us off?
No, this is just me. I have to tour them around and stuff like that.
Oh.
Hold on, let me say hi to some people. We have a birthday here. Veronica, happy Monday, y'all. It's my birthday today. So I'm putting out into the universe that everyone in the Platypus Posse has a fantastic day. Doai said happy birthday. Laura said, I just figured out who Kelvin reminds me of. It's been driving me crazy. MJ Coyle on Good Bones on HGTV.
Let me check.
He reminds me of him so much. Looks and demeanor, and just put some glasses on him, and he's a doppelganger.
I'm looking up this person right now.
Okay. Let's see. MJ Coyle.
I put MK.
That's a stretch.
Let's see here.
But he's not ugly, and I'll take that.
Let's see.
Where's images?
HGTV.
He's not ugly.
He's cute.
No, he's cute. Maybe it's more like mannerisms,
Sure.
demeanor.
Sure.
I would need to see the show
There's just no relation.
because just based on looks, I'm not seeing it. I just hit myself in the face. That hurt.
Maybe
Ouch.
the hair. But even then.
Hold on. I'm gonna see. I'm gonna share. Oops. Can you?
It's Inception. Yeah, but if you click on images, there's one. I see.
Is that? So he's got like. I mean, well, you are. What's your nationality, Kelvin?
Hispanic.
Hispanic. All right.
Mhm.
And
Latino. Central American.
I mean, and he just looks like a white boy.
White.
I mean, I could be wrong. I could be totally wrong.
I mean,
He's cute though.
Yeah. I'll take it.
Maybe
as
it's
a
more the
compliment.
mannerisms because
I
I've
think
never
it's
watched
mannerisms. I never have either.
it.
I don't have any celebrity doppelgangers. I'd love to compare to somebody, but I have no one.
I'll think about that. Let me
Yeah,
think on
no.
that.
I don't either. I've always been like, who do I? Well, back in the day when I had my big afro,
It
people
was
used to
Lenny
say Lenny
Kravitz.
Kravitz, but I used to always be like, I'm like the Lenny Kravitz has been in rehab because he's just been enjoying all the fruits of his money, girl. He been eating it all.
No, stop it. I will not have that self-talk. No, you
No,
stop it.
well, he got square jaws. Mine are not square; they're round.
But
They're
you
shapes.
shapes. Fine.
Let's see here. All right, cool. Well, hi. Oh, and then we had Anne Marie on.
Oh,
Melody
there's my
said
clink,
hello.
clink.
And then
Oh, hi.
Kelly said Kelvin is much cuter.
Mhm.
And then we have Yari checking in on YouTube. Huh? What'd you say, Kelvin?
Kelvin.
Oh,
We
you
can't
can't
hear.
hear? Oh, I wonder if something happened.
Did you hit mute?
I
That's so weird.
don't know. That's weird. Well, that's a sign it's time
Well-
to go. Well, time's up. It's fine. All right. Leave us a review, please. We'd appreciate it. Thank you so much for listening. Goodbye. We will see you on Wednesday.
Miguel and Holly Uncensored.
Catch it on the iHeartRadio app or anywhere you listen to podcasts.